Welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets. Alongside tight end Juwan Johnson, I'm Erin Summers. Juwan, how are you doing today?
We're doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. No complaints. Yeah, thank you for having me here.
You're coming off a career year last year,
Mm-hmm.
and right now you're second in the entire league in receptions among tight ends.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. How have you been able to continue to improve off of last season?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just eliminating distractions. I think the one thing I want to do is just enjoy, honestly, just the season. Just enjoy the people that's around me. Honestly, you tell me that's the first time I've heard that. Because honestly, I just try to stay away from stats and all that other stuff. I think that eliminates and kind of blurs the vision of what we're trying to do here. And so just really trying to keep the main thing. When I go home, enjoy the family. When I'm here, enjoy my teammates. And I think that's probably why a lot of good is coming to me, I guess you would say. But I feel like the main thing is if we're winning, that even helps a lot of that. So yes, it's great that those things are happening, but wins would mean so much more better. I don't know if that's even great grammar, but that would be much better when wins follow the success I'm having.
When you signed your contract earlier this year, obviously showed that the Saints wanted you to be here. Did that lead to kind of the change in mentality or approach this season?
Yes. I feel like them having me here is something that I've always wanted. I definitely want to be at a place that I started my career. That's something that I've always wanted. And it really means a lot to me that, people like Mickey, Miss Benson, Kai, all those guys that are upstairs, and even Kellen have the trust in me to be there starting tight end. I think that means the world to me, especially for the amount of work that I've put into transition to the tight end position. I owe them a great deal to put all of my efforts into, doing what I can to help the team on the field, but also off the field. And that's one of the things I wanted to come in here to do, to come back, to make an impact on and off the field.
Are you going to be the next Cam Jordan?
Well, Cam has played quite a lot of games and quite a lot of years. I'm older than him at this point. When he was in year 6, I think he was maybe 27, something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm 29, so he has 2 years on me. So I don't know. But
I gotta make it to 15.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you guys want me here that long, maybe. But I'm just gonna take it not 1 year at a time. I'm gonna take it one game at a time. I've been getting beat up quite a bit, so we're gonna take it one game at a time.
It seems like you're the go-to option for quarterback Spencer Rattler. Yeah. How has that dynamic between you two developed?
It's been so cool. I think it really started last year. Just being reliable, just being a person, one who's on the field. I feel like being on the field helps out a ton. It's just like someone who's big, like a big presence. Mm-hmm. And so on the field really helps. Like, all right, like what kind of guys do I have on the field right now? And he looks to the right or looks to the left, and I'm there. I feel like that's something that could really help him out. There's something that's comfortable. Someone who's been in the offense and just on the team for a while. So I just try to uplift him. I know there's times that we had are tough, but I think the biggest thing is just encouraging him and know I'm like, look, whatever the case is, like, I'm going to be here for you. Mm-hmm. Figuratively and like physically, I'm going to be there for you. If you want to throw the ball to me, I'm going to be there, but I'm also going to be there to lift you up. So I think the biggest thing is just building a relationship and just building chemistry on the field too.
After that loss in Seattle, you said that you wanted to be more of a vocal leader and step up in that area. What does that look like for you?
Yeah. A lot of it is just being neutral. I think what we talked about on our team the past week was being a neutral mindset. Not too positive, not too negative, just being neutral. And, you see the top guys in the world of all the sports like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, those guys have always talked about being neutral-minded. And so, going into it, if great things happen, be neutral. If bad things happen, be neutral. Never let the outcome dictate your mood or your actions. And so just going off of that, I think Kellen did a great job in just showing us a video of that in our team meeting and just being neutral. And so I just want to implement that to other guys. So I feel like guys can really forget those videos, once you leave, the team meeting, they just forget. I'm just like, look, we got to remember.
Yeah.
Like, we got to be neutral. We got to we have a standard, and we also have an identity we have to uphold. So I think that's the biggest thing.
You mentioned head coach Kellen Moore. You have a new tight end coach in Chase Haslett. He obviously has ties to the organization with his father being a former coach here. What stood out to you about him?
Chase has been great. He's been one of the most intentional coaches that I've been around, especially with the tight ends coach aspect. I think he's been really good with tailoring how my aspect and how my attributes are, and he really highlights those. And he really wants to work on the things that I struggle with. And so I know the things that I struggle with, my deficiencies, and we work on those all the time when we have free time. So anytime that the guys are in special teams or guys, we have a free break, he's like, all right, let's go work on something else. I'm like, dang, I'm tired, So I think he's really intentional in just getting me better. And I think I really appreciate him for that, because I know we don't have a ton of time. I know we're still in season, but even in season, he's still trying to find ways to get me better, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier this week, and he mentioned deficiencies too. So it's like he's really trying to hammer in all the little things that can make all of you the best that you can be. What is that tight end room like? Yeah,
honestly, it's probably one of the best tight end rooms I've been around. I've had a lot of fun in the tight end room, and I don't know if that's just because I'm just comfortable or whatever the case is, but those guys are great. I feel like we really cling to each other. Our personalities mesh well. We're all trying to uplift each other. There's no jealousy in the room. There's nothing that where one guy does something well, nobody is like upset or feels a certain way. I feel like we're all genuinely happy for each other, and I think it's going to be even better when Foster gets back and he gets in that rotation and he starts doing his thing, making plays. I think nothing is going to change. And so I think in many world of businesses, I think things could change in terms of, someone new's coming in and not used to play. That means someone ultimately doesn't play. But I don't think that'll happen in our room. I think we have a tight-knit group, and I think something like that happens, and it'll be really fun.
Foster Moreau needs to get back on the field because he needs to waste some energy. He spends too much time talking to people. Like, he doesn't stop.
Yeah. I honestly don't think him being on the field would change anything. I just think that's just his personality.
Did you know that the touchdown for Jack Stoll this past weekend was his first in the league?
First one. Yeah. He spent, this is his 5th year in the league, and that was his first one. That just shows and the thing is about he never complained about it. He never would make it known that that was his first touchdown. He just comes to work. He doesn't complain. He blocks his butt off. He makes all the efforts. He does all the dirty work, things that people don't want to do. He also had a catch early in the game. That was his first catch of the year. So, him just making a catch and not complaining about anything about it. I mean, he's just a guy that you want on your team.
Yeah, an area of his game that he said he wanted to work on and be able to showcase this year. So it's good to see those moments for players. Coming off of the loss in Seattle, now 3 losses to start the season, there's a lot of new still from the coaching staff to players in elevated positions. What would you say to the fans about where this team is and what they should be excited about going forward and still supporting?
It's all about resilience. I feel like New Orleans embodies resiliency. And so, yes, our team isn't doing well in terms of the record per se, but there's a lot of good things that you can see when you watch the TV and when you watch the film. I think that's something that people can be really encouraged about. And just in terms of just New Orleans, we've always had the best hand dealt to us in terms of New Orleans. But the thing about it, there's always sunshine coming out of it. We're living in good times in New Orleans, even though there's even better times that's going to come. And so this isn't the best that's going to come out of New Orleans. I mean, there's still good that's going to come out of what's coming. And so just staying with it, just knowing that this is just a time, this is just a moment, and there'll be better times ahead. So there's no time to panic or to get mad or to feel like we need to make changes or things like that. It's just a period of where we're just adjusting, and things are going to change and things will get better.
Getting back out on the road again this weekend against the Bills. Have you been there before?
This would be my first time.
Yeah.
This would be my first time. I heard the atmosphere is really good. I heard it's insane. I heard the fans are crazy, much like Green Bay. Not quite like Philly, but the passion of Philly. And I heard they love noon games. So it'll be exciting to go out there, and it would be really, really good to go out there and surprise a lot of people in the league. Really not surprise us, but to play the way we should play, and win a game out in Buffalo.
Yeah, and much better to do it this early in the season and not when it's completely covered in snow.
Right.
All right, on the other side of this break, we're going to take it back to the younger days with Juwan Johnson. So stick with us right here on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. Welcome back to the New Orleans Saints podcast alongside Juwan Johnson. I'm Erin Summers. Take me back to your first introduction to football.
Oof, wow, we're going that far. First introduction to football was quite a while ago. I was maybe 5 years old, and I actually quit twice. I was like, I really don't like this sport. I was playing offensive line, and I was a track guy, so I was faster than every kid, but I was bigger than every kid too. So
apparently they put you on the line.
Yeah, so they put me on the line. I wasn't vibing with it, and so I gave it one more shot, and I was like, Dad, look, if I don't play running back or any skill position, I'm just going to stop playing football in general. And so they put me at running back. I had a great time. My first game, I scored like 2 touchdowns, and I was like, this game isn't that bad at all. And so ever since then, I've been playing football since I was 7 years old, and here I am at 29 still playing.
So you were running back then. When did you make the move to receiver?
Yeah, so I was playing running back really up until high school. High school, I played receiver, and I played a little bit of tight end. And obviously, every school, when you're in high school, you play defense. So I'm playing defense as well, but primarily receiver and tight end.
Your brother George, defensive end, also played for the Saints.
Right.
Played many years in the NFL, undrafted, just like you. What did you learn from him?
Yeah, that you really can't let your emotions take over the circumstance that you dealt with. Obviously, we both wanted to have our names called in the draft, but that didn't happen. And we also wanted to be on the 53-man roster our rookie year, which didn't happen also. But sooner or later, you just have to, stay with it. You eventually end up playing and actually get signed on the active roster, and just staying with that. I think the one thing he was telling me was just like, you have to stay with it, and you can't let the personal things affect the business side of things, because it's just a business and it's really personal. And so all these things that happen are really just business. It's not really personal, but obviously our stories are a little bit different. He played for many teams. I've only played for one team, and I think his advice still holds true, and I think he's been great for me.
My favorite thing to do is to take things personally and stress. Like, those are my 2 favorites. So I got it. I'm still working on it.
Just work on that. It'll be good.
Who has been their biggest influence in your career?
Wow. Biggest influence in my career, I would say at the house is obviously my wife. I feel like she's seen a lot from me. And I feel like her dealing with my mess, I feel like it's been great, because my career has been very up and down for the most part, and I feel like it wasn't up until recently where it's been pretty steady. And so, just dealing with that, I feel like you just need somebody next to you, just kind of keep you level-headed. And I feel like 2 years ago, Jimmy Graham was really beneficial to me. I never really had a mentor in the NFL until he came, and he just telling me about the game, telling me about the ins and outs, really about the business side of things, and just not keeping everything so personal, taking everything so personal, but also just, that this is a place where you could really thrive and things like that. Teach me about football, teach me about life and all that other stuff. But he was also another benefit to me that really helped me in my career.
He was somebody who made the transition from basketball to football, tight end. You changed positions from wide receiver to tight end. You mentioned you almost quit twice. One of them was when you had to make that transition.
Yeah, it's all about transitioning, I guess. But yeah, he was one of the guys that made a huge transition from playing basketball to playing football. So it's not an easy transition either. I mean, you're playing something that is semi-physical to playing something that's extremely physical, because you have equipment on. And so him just making that move, and him having to go through what he went through, and he told me about his life, and it wasn't an easy life. So just telling me about all that, it really gave me an appreciation for him, but also the work that he's done, and being one of the top tight end that this league has seen. So it's really nice.
If you weren't a tight end, you couldn't have gone to Tight End U and hang out with Taylor Swift over the summer.
Yeah, you're right. My wife is still not happy that she didn't get to see her. But yeah, I mean, we hung out with Taylor Swift, and she's a cool lady.
Yeah.
I guess she's a cool lady, and she has a great husband, Travis Kelce, or fiance rather. And yeah, we had a great time.
I can't imagine the content that Shannon would have tried to get out of that moment 100%. Of hanging out with Taylor.
1000%. I think she kind of would have been so starstruck. I think no content would have been made. I think it would be more so, yeah, let's just be friends sort of thing. So, yeah, I think there'll be a time where they'll meet and they'll be just fine.
Is there anything that Shannon's ever asked you to do, social media wise, that you've been like, no, I'm not. I'm putting my foot down now and I'm not doing that? Because I saw a video of you in her clothes. Mm-hmm. So that one passed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been several things. It'd be much so about wearing clothes. I think wearing clothes, some football stuff that's just like, maybe we shouldn't do that. But clothes I don't mind. It's just certain clothes. And obviously not to be, shown for a long duration, just like a short snippet. It's just more fun than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some things that's just like, maybe it's a little too far.
So is she the mastermind behind all of it?
She is.
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I mean,
You're a really good actor and participant.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I just pop up in videos. She asks me to do a video, I'll do it. But for the most part, that's all her. Like, I don't do anything.
You played at Penn State and Oregon. Mm-hmm. There's a big game coming up this weekend.
There is.
So where does your allegiance lie?
Yeah, I always tell my teammates that I claim Oregon just because that's the last place I was at. When they say, "Oh, well, you got your degree from Penn State," I'm like, "Yeah, I understand that," but I just feel like my allegiance is with Oregon because that's the last places I was at. Those guys like me over there, I still get gear from them, so I feel like that's where my allegiance lies, and that's where I'll be going with this weekend. I'll be going with Oregon.
When you were younger, did you ever imagine that this would be your life now?
So there's two parts of that. Yes, I always wanted my life to be this. Mm-hmm. When I got to my rookie year, honestly, it was maybe my rookie year, I was like, this is tough. Like, the NFL is tough, and I don't know how long I'll be in the NFL. And then honestly, I just kind of stayed down, kept my head down, and really just worked. And I never knew my career would pan out the way it is right now. I mean, I had no idea that I'd be on this team for 6 years, but also just one of their key contributors to just playing the offense. I had no idea that this would happen. So, yes, when I was younger, yes, but honestly, when I got in the league, I'm like, no, I had no idea I'd still be here.
Being here, what is your favorite thing about playing for the Saints and being in New Orleans?
Yeah. My favorite thing is honestly, I like being in the community. I think this is why, me and Shannon just love this place so much, is because we have so many friends here. The people we know here, the people we've gotten to meet, it's been great. They've been a blessing to us. It's been so good. I mean, everywhere we go, we feel loved. We don't feel like that we don't belong. I feel like this is the place that we've been called to be at, and it's been super fun to, kind of immerse our family into this. And this is where we got to, set roots, and this is where we feel like that we can be for a long time and not have any issues and really feel like we could, live our lives here.
Okay, well, we're gonna stay there on that wavelength. Talk about some of those roots that have settled here in New Orleans on the other side of this break. We'll be back with more with Juwan Johnson. Back on the New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets, Erin Summers, Juwan Johnson. Talk to me about your two little ones, because they're always so incredibly cute. Some of the roots that you've been laying down here.
Yeah, my girls are the best. They are so fun. Jador Johnson, who's my oldest, who is 2 now, and Jubilee Johnson, who will be 1 next Tuesday. So 2-2 is really difficult, but it's the best. Having those girls be 14 months apart is honestly so fun because all the things that the oldest learned, the youngest gets to learn, but it's so much at a more rapid pace. And having 2 girls is also so fun too. I feel like they talk so much. They are so girly. They are so girly. And they love Pink, and they love Doll, and they love Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. And so just for me, it's so interesting because I play such a aggressive sport. And so when I go home, I get to be so gentle. And I get to experience a different love that you don't necessarily experience with your wife, which is a totally different love. But with them, it's like it's a love that's so like whatever they do is like they never can do wrong. And so it's so fun. Like they can do anything, you still just want to hold them, hug them, and kiss them. Like it's just it's really cool going home and seeing them.
What's been the biggest surprise of being a parent, because you have 2?
I feel like the biggest surprise is the grace that you have. Like I said before, they could do literally anything. Like I know the grace I have with my dogs, and it's very short. The grace is very short with my pets. But with my girls, like they can do anything. Like they can just like break anything, they can say anything, they can do anything, they can fall out. But you are so patient with them, and you are so loving and gracious towards them. And so that's just something that I never knew I had, but you just want to protect them in a way because these are moments that they'll remember forever. And so I don't yell at them. I don't like say any bad words around them. Like I honestly, I try to treat them in a way that they're gonna remember things for their whole life. So it's so fun parenting them, and I really have a fun time.
So if you have boys, if you have any more, do they get a C first name? Since the girls got J?
Right. We haven't even thought about boy names. Like we've obviously we do want one more that is in the cards, God willing. But we have no idea what the name would be. Like this is something that she would have to choose because I have no idea what the name would be.
You mentioned giving back to the community, and over the summer you were able to give back to your hometown, Glassboro, New Jersey. You had a celebrity basketball tournament. You raised $25,000 for St. Jude. Why did you pick that as the beneficiary?
I've always wanted to work with St. Jude. I think that's one of the things that me and my love, we love doing. We're big givers. It's like we love giving. And I think for us, we always want to contribute to people who are helping people. And so St. Jude was one of those organizations that we thought aligned with what we wanted to do in our hometown, or my hometown rather. And we did it. We just thought a celebrity basketball game was cool. And we just wanted to try it out in my hometown. And honestly, I think in the future, that'll be something that we do in New Orleans. Celebrity basketball things in New Orleans. More events in New Orleans. I think that's something that we will do more in the future. So we're super excited that we got to kind of trial that where I was at, where I grew up, and we kind of know how it works. And so we're really excited for events that we'll have in New Orleans in the next couple of months and then the next year.
So can you hoop?
Well, there's a reason why I didn't hoop. Like I was more of like the commentator. Like me and she were more like commentators. I can shoot a little bit, but I'm not out there claiming that I'm just like this basketball player. That's just not me.
Yeah, you guys commentated the flag football event over the Super Bowl as well.
Yep.
So you gotta been working on your broadcasting skills here.
I guess you're right. I mean, I really didn't. I forgot all about that. But yeah, that was really fun. I thought that was extremely fun. I think the Super Bowl should always be in New Orleans. I feel like that is something that I think everybody had a great time in New Orleans. So maybe that should be something that, Roger should plan later on.
Okay, you can start the petition for the next time. All right, we're going to close this out with a 2-minute drill. I'm roughly keeping time, so don't hold me to it, but we're going to get some rapid fire questions in here.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so who is your emergency contact?
On the team?
Yeah.
Oof. I would say Jack Stoll, the emergency.
Okay. He'd help you out?
Yeah, he's helped me.
What was your favorite car that you owned?
Favorite car that I've owned?
Yes.
Ooh, I just got my dream car 2-3 years ago. Ford Bronco. I love a Bronco. Man, I never had a dream car growing up, but when I seen that a couple years back, I was like, I gotta have it.
What's the most interesting thing in your locker?
Most interesting thing in my locker? One, either my Bible, or two, my duck. My quacking duck that's on top of my locker.
You're an Oregon Duck.
Yeah, I'm an Oregon
Yes,
Duck.
you do rep. Yes. If you could raid a teammate's closet, whose would it be?
Raid?
Mm-hmm. Who's got style?
I would say I would raid Cam's locker just because closet locker. Just because only if it fit. If it fit, then I would raid locker. But it doesn't fit. He wears like a size 18.
We're assuming that it would fit.
Yeah. If it fit, I would raid Cam's. For sure. He gets a lot of PR and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say his.
Do you have a hidden talent?
Hidden talent? Oof. Man. I'm good at. I was
gonna say it sounds like there's one coming.
No, I guess. I mean, I juggle. I guess. I don't think it's a hidden talent. I think I'm more interesting than a hidden talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the nickname that your parents had for you growing up?
Juan. So just eliminate the W. Juan.
Does anybody else call you that around here?
Yeah, they do. They do. They just take out the W and just say Juan. But my parents, call me Juan.
Yeah. Well, it's been so fun catching up with you.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining me.
True honor.
Thank you all for tuning in and listening to New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets. Appreciate Juwan Johnson. Erin Summers here. We'll see you next week on the New Orleans Saints podcast.